Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. GA spoilers. Is Jason on his way back into Sonny's good graces? General Hospital, GA spoilers hint Jason Morgan. Steve Burton is starting to think Carly Spencer, Laura Wright, may be right about Sonny Corinthos, Morris Bernard, being on his way back to them. All signs point to things moving in that direction. But will it stick? I can think of a few things that might complicate these best friends getting back to being bosom buddies. When Sonny called on Jason to come get him from the hospital after his meeting with Dr. Kevin Collins, John Lindstrom, he tried not to get his hopes up. General Hospital spoilers. Is Jason Morgan on his way back into Sonny's good graces? Still, something wasn't quite right. Although Sonny may have been getting help, it had been maybe an hour of him realizing he needed it. His sudden about-face reaching out to the man he's been swearing he wanted to kill was quite the wake-up call. And we can't blame Jason for being hesitant to accept what was really going on. Now that Sonny knows he's been taking placebo pills and blames Ava Jerome, Maura West, for it, getting back on his meds in proper fashion could have him seeing Jason a lot more clearly. Will it matter? GA spoilers, friends forever? These two have been through thick and thin, but let's not forget that while Sonny may not be as erratic when he's properly medicated again, he's still not going to go back to being the same Sonny he was before Nixon Falls. That too brought forth a major change in his personality, and his marriage to and subsequent divorce from Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watros, didn't change the man he had become. A calmer version of his prior self who never really got over how Carly and Jason handled his presumed death. Can he overlook the fact that they fell in love in the wake of his disappearance? General Hospital spoilers. Sonny Corthino struggles to understand Jason Morgan's position. While Sonny is certainly the last person we will see defending Special Agent John Jagger Cates, Adam Harrington, he won't get over Jason's alleged betrayal as quickly as he is moving on from everything else. He may not easily shake the concerns he has had that Jason didn't come to right away and tell him what was going on. He has emphasized that many times, even after learning it was Carly that Jason has been protecting. That being said, there seems to be a plot hole at play here because no one wants to recognize that Jason didn't have any idea who Jagger was, or that he had any connection to Sonny or Port Charles until recently. Will Sonny take that into account with a clearer mind? We can hope. GH spoilers. Carly Spencer is in the middle. Nevertheless, while Sonny and Jason may find themselves back in one another's good graces and even working together again, that won't change their relationships with Carly. Sonny has always been a bit in the way of Carly and Jason being able to explore their feelings for one another. Way back in the day, Carly chose Sonny over Jason. While there are no signs of regret on her part, she's not going back to the mafia master. And it's pretty clear where her heart still lies, with Jason. Will Sonny forgiving Jason make it that much harder for them to get together, though? On the flip side, will them getting together drive a new wedge between both of them and Sonny? Keep checking back for more GH news and spoilers to find out. As the sun began to set over Port Charles, a storm brewed not only in the sky, but also in the life of Sonny Corinthos. He stood by the window of his lavish penthouse, eyes fixed on the horizon, lost in thought. The past few months had been a whirlwind of chaos, betrayal, and unrelenting tension. And at the center of it all was one man, Jason Morgan. Sonny could still feel the sting of Jason's betrayal. The man who had once been his most trusted enforcer, his right-hand man, had chosen to walk away. Jason's departure had left a gaping hole in Sonny's life, one that no amount of power or money could fill. And while he tried to move forward, the shadow of Jason's absence loomed over him like a specter, haunting his every move. The tension between them had reached a boiling point after Jason had taken a stand against Sonny's decisions. Jason, with his cold, calculated demeanor, had questioned Sonny's leadership, his choices, and even his loyalties. It wasn't the first time they had clashed, but this time it felt different. The bond that had once been unbreakable now seemed fragile, teetering on the edge of collapse. But as the storm outside intensified, so did the storm within Sonny. He couldn't help but wonder if Jason was on his way back into his good graces. Could the rift between them be healed, or was it too late to mend the broken trust? Meanwhile, across town, Jason sat in a dimly lit room at the safe house, staring at his phone. The silence was deafening, the weight of his decisions pressing down on him like a ton of bricks. He knew he had made the right choice, but that didn't make it any easier. Walking away from Sonny had been one of the hardest things he had ever done, but it had been necessary. Jason's loyalty had always been to Sonny, but recent events had forced him to take a step back and reevaluate his priorities. The life they lived, the constant danger, the never-ending cycle of violence, it was taking a toll on him. He had needed space, time to think, to clear his head. But now, as he sat alone in the dark, he couldn't shake the feeling that he was being pulled back in. The phone buzzed on the table, breaking the silence. Jason's heart skipped a beat as he saw the name on the screen, Sonny. For a moment he hesitated, his finger hovering over the answer button. Was this the moment he had been waiting for? Was Sonny reaching out to him, ready to bury the hatchet and move forward? Taking a deep breath, Jason answered the call. "Sonny," he said, his voice steady but tinged with uncertainty. "Jason," Sonny's voice was gruff, as if he had been wrestling with his own demons. "We need to talk." The words hung in the air like a heavy fog, thick with tension and unresolved emotions. Jason knew this conversation was long overdue, but he wasn't sure he was ready for it. Still, he knew he had to face Sonny, to confront the issues that had driven them apart. "I'm listening," Jason replied, his tone guarded. There was a brief pause on the other end, as if Sonny was choosing his words carefully. "I've been thinking a lot about what happened between us," Sonny began, his voice softer now, almost reflective. "We've both made mistakes, but we've also been through hell together. I can't just forget that." Jason's grip on the phone tightened. He could hear the sincerity in Sonny's voice, the hint of vulnerability that was so rare for the mob boss. It was clear that Sonny was trying to extend an olive branch, but Jason wasn't sure if he was ready to accept it. "I never wanted things to end up like this," Jason admitted, his voice low. "But I had to do what I thought was right. I couldn't keep following orders that I didn't agree with." "I know," Sonny said, his tone resigned. "And I respect that. But we're stronger together, Jason. We always have been. The people who want to take us down, they're counting on us being divided. We can't let that happen." The weight of Sonny's words settled heavily on Jason's shoulders. He knew Sonny was right. Port Charles was full of enemies, and they would all be eager to exploit any weakness in the Corinthos organization. But could Jason really go back? Could he trust Sonny again? "I don't want to be at odds with you, Sonny," Jason said after a long pause. "But things can't go back to the way they were. We both need to be on the same page, and that means there has to be respect on both sides."